Hello again, friends, how are you? The Top Football channel returns to your screens with a new video. Today, we decided to recall several cases when legendary players had a terrible last season at their clubs. By the way, guys, write in the comments below what legendary player you would like to bring back to your favourite team right now. Don't forget, we'll be replying to some of your comments. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as it is very important for us. French striker David Trezeguet was undoubtedly considered a legend at Juventus. The footballer gave 10 years of his career to the old lady, and during this time he experienced everything. He won the Italian championship with the club twice in a row, and then was relegated to Serie B, and again returned to the elite with the team. Juve's fans never doubted his dedication and talent. In total, David scored 171 goals for the Black and Whites, and even today he is fourth in the list of the club's top scorers. However, Trezeguet's last season in Juventus wasn't a successful one. At the start of the 2009-2010 campaign, the French forward announced that this would be his last year with the team. But instead of winning trophies, the old lady failed in the season in Serie A, taking only 7th place and disgracing herself in the Europa League by being knocked out by Fulham in the round of 16. On an individual level, David also didn't shine. In the 2009-10 season, he made appearances in 19 matches and somehow managed to reach the mark of 7 goals. Although when he was in his best form, he consistently scored 15 goals per season. This, of course, did not detract from the fact that Trezeguet left Juventus as a legend, but still, he really shouldn't have continued his career in Turin. Gary Cahill was rightfully called one of the strongest central defenders in England in the early 2000s. He showed himself at Bolton and went on to progress to Chelsea, where he stayed for as long as 7 years. The centre-back has participated in 290 appearances for the Blues, providing 25 goals, 7 assists and getting 8 trophies, including the Europa League and the Champions League. Cahill played under Andre Villas-Boas, Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. But it was with the arrival of Maurizio Sarri in Chelsea that the Englishman began to have a playing crisis. He couldn't sync up with the tactics of the Italian coach and therefore hardly got a chance to prove anything on the pitch. In his final season at the London club, Gary started in only 8 matches and was eventually forced to leave the club as a free agent. The defender did so with some great resentment and criticism of Sarri. Cahill's case is a tragic one, because for many years he was an excellent assistant to John Terry in the centre of the Chelsea defence, and even took over the captain's armband from him in 2017. And that's not to mention the fact that Gary had successfully played in the English national team throughout this time. In the end, Stamford Bridge gave a send-off befitting of such a legend. But it is clear that the club simply forced Cahill to leave. Yaya Touré is one of the legends from the modern history of Manchester City. The Ivorian midfielder has been wearing the Citizens jersey for 8 years and had won all the major trophies within England: the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup and Super Cup. Besides, Yaya won the award for the Best African Footballer of the Year 4 times. And of course, we can't help but note the 2013-14 season, in which Touré gave top-notch performances and statistics that better befitted the centre-forward position. 49 matches in all tournaments, 24 goals and 10 assists. Now that's just awesome. However, with the appointment of Pep Guardiola, Touré gradually lost his main player status and had less and less influence on the success of Manchester City amid the rising star of Kevin De Bruyne. Soon enough, Yaya's relationship with Guardiola began to deteriorate, and the Spanish coach almost stopped counting on the player. In his last season at the Etihad, the African midfielder had only 17 games with 2 assists on his account. The club naturally organised a beautiful farewell for Turin, but the player could no longer stabilise relations with Pep. After leaving City, the Ivorian criticised the manager and even accused him of racism, believing that this was the main reason for which Guardiola kicked him out of the starting lineup. History tells no lies, and Manchester United forward Wayne Rooney was an icon in English football. The amount of trophies and individual awards will be enough to fill an entire museum, and it will take more than 1 or even 5 minutes to list all of his accomplishments. However, there is also the sad fact: Rooney completely ruined his last season at United. The attacker was never particularly disciplined and often violated the regime by consuming alcohol and smoking cigarettes. The consequences began to be seen in matches where Rooney was playing. Rooney had lost his pace and become less flexible from a tactical point of view. That is why Wayne eventually lost his place on the England national team. At the club level, Waza was also experiencing some setbacks. His final season at the Red Devils earned him only 8 goals in 39 matches, taking into account all competitions. Now, Wayne did manage to break Bobby Charlton's record and become the top scorer in the history of Manchester United, but still, he didn't manage to leave Old Trafford in the best way possible. In spite of everything, we wish Rooney the best in his role as head coach of Derby County, and look forward to seeing him as a manager in the English Premier League in the near future. To end this episode, we have saved for you the most recent example, and the conversation will once again dwell upon the Premier League. Just a few weeks ago, Man City announced that Sergio Aguero would be leaving the team at the end of the season. There is no doubt that the Argentinian is an icon at the Manchester club. All the highlights and triumphs of the citizens in the league of the 21st century are mostly associated with him. Aguero's tenure at City is coming to an end. But even now, it can be argued that in an individual aspect, his final season in a City shirt was as terrible as it could possibly be. In the current campaign, Sergio didn't even leave the infirmary due to endless injuries. And even if he appeared on the pitch, he didn't score with the same frequency as before. So far, Aguero has barely accumulated 15 matches in all tournaments, which is a personal record low in the team of Manchester City. There are also troubles with goals, as to date he only has 3 of them in the most recent campaign. The saddest thing is that Sergio has stopped to be useful to today's City and no longer inspires confidence in his teammates. This issue became especially noticeable in the round of 16 of the Champions League, when the Sky Blues played against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Aguero was ignored by his teammates in most instances. So after the match, the Argentine forward desperately shouted to one of the coaches, "They don't pass to me!" It is a pity that Sergio will no longer be needed by his team, because it simply progressed while the attacker suffered from damage and constant operations. However, he will forever remain a hero of the citizens. And friends, on that high note, we end our release. Subscribe to the Top Football channel and write in the comments below what other topics we should cover in new videos. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.